there will be pressure on him.
Okay.
So he doesn't want pressure, so he has gone to sign for Ashgood FC in Division 1 in Obuasi.
Oh, wow.
So he didn't sign for Kotoko. But I also believe that it's not pressure. He's not fully fit.
He's not fully fit, yeah.
Because when you talk of pressure, there's a lot of pressure in Division 1 than the
yeah, of course. Division 1 is a tough league.
Yes, so
I agree with you, because which means that immediately he will be thrown into matches, and with his fitness level not
the problem Kotoko is having is their pivot role. And you are one of the players that we saw you when you were with Kotoko. When you went to Libya, we saw your exploits.
Yeah.
But after getting your knee injury, you came back, and you've been training with Kotoko for how many months now?
Yeah,
he's been training with Kotoko for some months now. So if he believes that he's 100% fit, Agada that I know will not tell the coach that he doesn't want pressure.
Yeah.
So for Ashgood FC, probably he may choose to train 3-4 times a week, and maybe talk to the coach the games that he wants to play and all that. But I think it's good for him, but for him to be able to get fully fit, and probably maybe next season if he doesn't move out, he comes out to play for Kotoko.
Okay. But they go to Gold Stars.
Yes.
You mentioned the ultimatum handed to Abdul Karim Zito. With that amount of pressure on his head, can they get something from this game at Gold Stars, right? Can they get something?
Yes,
Gold Stars themselves have had a very interesting run. If you look at what they've done so far in the Ghana Premier League, they've lost one of their last 5. 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
Yeah, we are talking about their home game. They've just drawn 1 with Mediama. That was the midweek outstanding game that they played. And apart from that, it's Kotoko that has been able to go there to beat them in the Champions of China. Goal scored by Musa Hamzata, who joined Kotoko from Accra Lions. And I believe that Kotoko are capable, because since Gold Stars joined the Ghana Premier League, Kotoko has been tough customer for them at the dance bar. And it's going to be a difficult game though, but Karim Zito know what is at stake. And he believes that maybe orientation with his boys, they should be able to go to Baby to upset Gold Stars. In as much that Augustine Boache, the former striker of Kotokuro, has also joined Baby Gold Stars. Because they have the likes of Samson Eduku, they have the Burkinabe striker, and of course they have Atakumi. These are strong guys on any day, but for them to add Augustine Boache tells you that they want to augment the attacking power. So, but they are midfield, the guys are very young, the Contours and the likes are very young. But Vincent Atinga add up its experience at the back, including Anaba. They have one of the finest goalkeepers in the league in the person of Mano. But Kotoko in their last game against Bekum Chelsea, I single out Samba Odell because the rest of the players I don't use any words on them, but I believe that Kamara, I'll mention Kamara because of the save that he made.
Brilliant save.
Bekum Chelsea from scoring that 1-on-1 situation. He's going to start for Kotoko in Bebieni. Lord Amo is going to be at the right side. And this time, Philip Amo is going to start ahead of Patrick Asido on the left. Samba O'Neill and then Hamzata will be playing as 2 centre backs. And then he's going to play a 4-4-2 system. So Prince Badu and then Hubert Jehu.
In midfield.
In midfield. On the right, he's going to use Inus Adams. And then Saka Dauda is going to start ahead of
Peter Amidu.
Peter will come from the bench to come and do whatever he wants to do. And then Monfrey Donsu and then that young chap, Dogo Yakub. So the 4-4-2 that I've given you is going to happen in Bebieni. Kotoko is going to face Bebieni goals. So it's going to be a difficult game, but in a games like this, I give Kotoko advantages because of their history, because of their numbers, because of their records. But if anything to go by, Kotoko defenders needs to work extra.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sports.
Samson Eduku, ever since he left Kotoko to Bebieni, anytime he meets Kotoko, he fights, he brings his heart out, and then he pushes Kumasi and Kotoko. This is a game I want to see Kobe and then Kamara what they do. In as much as you have to also look at the technical bench, I think Karim Zito stands a chance.
Well, we'll see. And you're right, Asante Kotoko do have a history of sometimes going away from home to get some very, very good results. And they will have to improve after last weekend's performance at home to Chelsea. It was a very poor performance, and they will have to do better. And then they need to look out for, as you said, their ex-player, Samson Eduku. Last week we saw Tinedu.
Yes.
Combating that entire midfield,
and he did exactly what Kotoko were expecting him to do when he was with them.
So Kotoko have to be very, very, very careful as they go there. I agree with you on the starting 11. I would have made that same call on Peter Miduakwa. If I were coaching, I would have started him from the bench. I thought last week he didn't really deliver, so you give somebody else a chance.
Because at the back of the boy's mind, he's no way to renew his contract. They've pushed and pushed and pushed.
And he still doesn't want to renew.
And the games that he's giving Kotoko, 80% today, 40% tomorrow.
The inconsistencies are too wide.
The game against Brekum Chelsea, without the ball, he was not part of the team.
Yeah, that's true.
So more or less, technically, Kotoko was playing 10 against 11.
The first time I saw him involved in the game was after 20 minutes.
Yes.
Nathan, let me tell you something. When players want to make a move away, they call something they call highlight reels. So he plays like that. So when he has the highlight reels, when they finish the game and then his maybe agent or something has the clip, he'll just go and pick the highlight, the tens, and then the rant around. But the end product, end product is missing.
I've advised coaches the watching of players' videos before. I don't have any issues with that. Whether you can bring me your current video,
right? Full video.
Bring the video. I still want to see you.
Exactly.
You have to watch him play.
Yes, because I have a history whereby to go list international. He played alongside Adebayo. He was brought to Kotoko by Karim Zito. He brought the video. I was then a scout for Didi Dramani. And Didi gave me the video. I watched the video and wow. I don't think any of the Ghanaian midfielders would be able to match it. It was an old video that he made. So when he came to Ghana, and then Kotoko wanted to give him the contract, he went to training grounds and he realized that no, Aquano said, why are you kakra? You understand? So immediately they have to terminate the contract for him to go back. And that is not the only one. There are couples of them. And the moment you ask for video, they'll push it to you. If you are not careful, especially players coming from the Francophone countries, they have old videos that they've been playing very well. Fernando Bassi came to Kotoko. If I should show you his video that we watched, I was part of those that we watched. You tell him to naturalize and play for the Blasters. The pace, the skill, the power, and the goals that he was scoring. It was an old videos. Though he came to Kotoko, you could clearly see some glimpses of him.
But you notice that he had gone past. Yes, he had gone past his best.
You see, so for me, I think that watching videos fine, but they need to also invite them, let them come. Like our players here, agents watch their videos. They invite them. Do you think they just go and do medical? They go and then they watch them.
They watch them play.
You have to pass the eye test.
And one other thing that Kotoko supporters should also notice, I don't know whether they've noticed or maybe you guys have noticed it. Let's take it from Maswa Kunodu's era. When Kotoko play games and it doesn't go well, at the end of the game, do you see the Kotoko players moving around the car park, mingling with all sorts of people, laughing and all that? Do you see those days? But today, if Kotoko should play and the fans are even angry that the team that did not perform well, insulting the managers, insulting coaches, you still see players with their students back or maybe whatever at their back, mingling with people as if nothing has happened.
This is Sporty FM.
When Martin Halleberg was chased into a taxi, no, I'm not saying that they were going to beat him. They wanted him to feel that, look, it is pain for them to leave their homes to come and then you come to a mess up at the. Though players can get good day, they can get bad day. But whereas a player play a game and it doesn't go well, and you don't see anything in the facial of the player showing that he's not happy about the output. But you see the player being comfortable, chatting, doing all sorts of things. It doesn't go well. That's why I've called for orientation for some of the clubs to do with their players. Heart of Lions, for instance, they need a reset of their mind. The players need an orientation. Kotoko players need orientation. House of Folk players need orientation. And for me, the moment you do that orientation, you are getting the players back onto their.
That's true.
And for me, it helps. It helps. If Kotoko supporters have not noticed this, I'm telling them they should watch the clips that I'm talking about. 2-3 matches that Kotoko has not performed well at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. How players behave when they just. And the coach was telling me that, look, coach, yeah, but we are. And the previous years, it takes players have to rush into the team buses, probably to get to tech before they all get down to go to the videos because they believe that they didn't perform well. The supporters will not be happy with them.
But now,
no.
When I was watching the Super 2 at the stadium, and I was sitting with some Kotoko fans. So I asked them. This was when the Tinedu suspension story had come. And I asked the supporter that, but what's this thing about Tinedu suspension? He said, players in there say how. And he was telling me a story of one player who, after a game at the Baba Yara Stadium, was at the car park chatting with some lady. Meanwhile, a management committee member was calling the player to come for a discussion. And the player was ignoring the management committee member. And then was chit-chatting with the lady. The supporter said he had to go and drag the player to the management committee member. You know, and even that the player was very reluctant. He didn't want to leave. And then as he was leaving, he was telling the lady that, oh, he'll call her. Anyway.
So you see, there is one thing that I think that, players are at luxury at Kotoko, and then lots are not being demanded from them.
Okay.
And coach always says it, that when players get into comfort, that is where they misbehave. At that point where you should be playing and getting to, because now you are in a very good environment. Yeah. You are in a very good space.
You are not, things are like,
thank you.
Your burdens have
less pressure on you.
Less
and you are being given the best of facilities. If you play for Asante Kotoko medically, unless you say you don't want proper medical care like Andrews in Timenu. If you want proper medical care treatment, yes, go to Konfanoche. And the doctors, Dr. Leet, Dr. Chumesiba, all these people are there making sure. From the orthopedic unit to these nurses, you look at the Kotoko, they are all from the AMU, Accident and Emergency Unit.
Okay.
Proper medical services. Look at Eski, a Black Stars physiotherapist who has worked with the national team for God knows how long. These are the ones taking care of you. Until you are fully fit, they don't risk players like that. Unless they have no option, and then they would have to give you some supplements for you to play. Other than that, they'll keep you off. And you come and stay and you don't want to play. In a city where there are times you don't even spend your salary, because when fans see you play good football, they even give you too much money to spend.
Yeah.
I am a witness to some of Kotoko players enjoying over 6 months with groceries.
Wow.
Ask Obedo Uso, ask Felix Annan, ask Eric Dong, ask them. And you are in such a space and you don't want to play football. And you see, just what coach was saying after the game, they were just walking around, laughing, sharing jokes. And I'm like, do these players know the club they are playing for? We watch, and at times, I just think that maybe they are just playing for the fun of it. They have no future, they have no ambition. Because if you have an ambition, you are playing for Asante Kotoko, when you lose, you would actually be hiding. Yeah, and Stephen Odro has sent this message across time and time again, that these players, you are like, when you lose games, even when he wins games, he's quick to hide because there may be a mistake he made on the pitch. A fan will not be happy. He doesn't want that reaction.
No, let the fans feel that, look, you are sorry.
But there's no remorse. You are
That
playing. You see, you are in a position of you are playing for the King's Club, right?
Yes.
You think about it. You are
The
playing
source
for
of
a
meeting
club
that they had after the game
steeped
against
in a lot of royalty.
Chelsea, you have no idea. Zito had wanted to resign, but he was advised he wanted to resign. But these players didn't care.
They don't care.
You watch the game. No disrespect to Brekum Chelsea.
Yeah.
They put up a splendid,
brilliant master plan.
of course,
it was really
which
good.
it worked for them.
Yeah.
But every 50-50 ball went to Brekum Chelsea.
Yes. Why? Because Kotoko players were not willing to put in the fight.
Said Kojo, if you know you are not fit, talk to the technical team. And I also said that, look, the medical team, yes, though they are professionals, they should also be stiff with the boys.
Strict.
I remember Dr. Boati and KK Sapon. When he says you are off for 1 month,
it's 1 month.
Off for 1 month. You have no excuse. So that is why at times Mohammed have issues with them. But he says 1 month, you are off for 1 month.
Exactly.
You go and train with the youth team. If you are not fully fit, he will not allow you to get close to the senior team. Because he believes that people leave their jobs, come to the stadium to play and watch you.
Yeah.
And today people are not going to stadium because of all these things. It's not only Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Among all the clubs in the country, I'm talking about the Premiership clubs. Look, go to Legon and the team will play poorly. At the end of the game, watch how the players behave within the car park or around the stadium. So I ask myself, what sorts of players do we have nowadays? A team whereby by 25th, 26th, your salary has already been paid.
You are getting paid earlier than
You don't pay utilities, you don't pay
corporate
rent.
workers.
Yes.
You don't pay utilities, you don't pay rent. A bus picks you from the clubhouse. You go to the training grounds. It brings you back. It is just a minute or 30 seconds walk from the facility
to the bus.
But still they have to sit in the bus. And they have chef who cooked for them twice a day. You have G and F. So I don't know what they want. So, and you ask yourself, if this is the kind of performance you put up, do you think the club will come and poach you from your former club?
No.
I just want to mention some of the players' names.
It's quite sad, you see. And at times, and Nathan, you see, there's one thing that I also blame. I blame the Kotoko management and whoever is in charge.
Okay.
Kotoko doesn't have a physical instructor, a proper.
Zito will tell you that Michael Ekufu.
No.
No, Akufu is only a player.
A proper trainer.
Thank you.
A proper physical trainer.
Thank you. So, intensity. When you look at Arsenal, the guy who normally comes with Partey, there is one other guy. They make sure that these players are in good condition.
But Mensah brought a guy from South Africa just to do the preseason with Manchester Kotoko. And none of the clubs in this country were players were fitter than Kotoko.
Yes.
After that 1 month that he stayed with Manchester Kotoko.
You have to be fit.
You have to be fit. And when Parkwesi took over, he brought Nasser. You remember that?
Yeah, Nasser,
The kind of work he did with the players. Kwame Bonsu was like, Chama, why? But we all saw him when Bonsu, who had stayed off football for a while, when he started playing, we saw him in Africa club competition, battling it out with some of the North African teams and some of the top sides. When Kotoko played in Africa under CK,
but
that was the team that had been prepared.
These guys go to Europe and this source of physicality are being tested. And
they'll fail.
Tell you that,
yeah, they will fail.
But simply because you are not fit.
You are not fit.
Yeah.
You are not ready. Yeah. Look at this cold weather. Look at the training. The kind of training other clubs are receiving.
Yeah.
Just see.
Yeah. And you can tell by the lack of intensity. And last week's game was a prime example. Yeah. Last weekend. And I was saying,
people sends a message. He said the Kotoko players are not porcupine warriors, they are pussycats. They don't understand the meaning of the
emblem. It's been a long time.
And I was looking at the game in isolation, and you could tell that the longer the game dragged, Kotoko were fading. The players were fading. By 60-65 minutes, they were done. They couldn't lift to the next level.
So why would management sit down to see that, look, this is the Kotoko technical team without the physical trainer?
So and in football, it's everything.
Kotoko were not having.
Yes.
It's okay if they brought someone and the person is gone.
person has gone because they were not paying.
So in football, it's very key. We look at, I always say this.
And who's that director of sporting affairs? There are times you don't want to talk about certain things, but all these things matter.
Yeah, of course, they come under.
The structures must be well built.
Yeah. He's supposed to call the shots.
You get it?
I have no idea.
How is it that you have two assistant coaches and you don't have a physical instructor? Nah. You have so many do I say nurses and you can't have
a physical.
Kotoko should have a physical. I remember I always use Maxwell era because I worked at the Maxwell do as a scout.
Yeah.
Kotoko had a psychologist in Dr. Patrick
Ofori.
Yeah, Patrick Ofori.
He
was the psychologist, yes.
Dr. Boateng was the head of his department in Kofanochi.
Yes.
His physio were also coming from Kofanochi.
Exactly.
Watch Maxwell Kunedu's assistants. Henry Wellington was the head coach of King Faisal. He brought him to come and handle Kotoko youth team. Not the Kotoko youth team. Look, Garba, a former Kotoko player, was also there. Safu Castro was there.
Yes.
Ernest Appel was there. You see Maxwell Kunedu's technical team. And
that was a very strong team.
I think it is Nunu or something. That physical, he used to train the Kotoko players as a physical instructor.
Yes.
He's been there for years. So when Kotoko players are playing and you are not fit, you can't play.
Yeah.
So you mention names of Maxwell's squad. Let me just mention the attacking players. You have Yaya Mohammed, you have Ahmed Toure, you have Kofi Tibuache, you have Bene Champon, Wow Stars, Nathan Asamoah.
Yes.
That's a loaded.
And when you have the likes of Michael Anaba, you have the like of Michael Ekufu, Daniel Nieje.
Thank you.
You have one called Fatao called Owen.
Yes. Yes, Fatah Mohammed.
Go to the Kotoko right back at that time. They have Sabato from Wow Stars.
Exactly.
They have Razik Mohammed from Wafa.
Yeah.
They have Amos Frimpong. They have Yao Frimpong.
Oshedi.
I've mentioned 4.
Yes.
And all these guys are solid.
Exactly.
So there's always competition and hard work.
Yes.
When it comes to the center of defense, Awa Mohammed was playing.
Yes.
They have a certain Kofo.
Yes.
From Heart of Lions.
Kofo, yes.
Ohini Brenya. He came from
Brekum Arsenal. He played the season with just one yellow card.
It was only one
yellow card.
Yes. It was only one position that I think that it was difficult for players to overtake such a player. That was Baba Rahman.
Yes.
Left back.
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So Today, you sit down and analyze the Kotoko team. The Kotoko players individually, they are good. But what makes them good? What improves them?
I see.
What improves them? And the moment you sit down here to talk about it, on pay a team, they don't like the truth. That's the fact. For me, I'll say it as it is. Whether you like it or not, I'll say it as it is. Because it is disheartening that we keep talking about our Ghana Premier League, and there are certain things that the clubs needs to do, and they don't do.
That's true. That's true, because in any proper functioning football environment, certain things must exist. If you say you are doing football at the top level, certain things must exist.
Must it be that every weekend supporters will go to the stadium and they will be insulting players?
It's quite disheartening.
You
But
remember I forgot about this striker. They call him Nephew.
Nephew.
Yes.
Asek and
Nikki. Yes, Nephew.
He was also part of Maswell's squad, but he was not having the playing time because of
Abeture.
Steve Odo was on Kotoko's bench, and he was begging Maswell for him to play for the reserve side.
Yes.
Steve Odo.
But that attack was loaded.
Yes.
See, because Abeture, even by himself, was a big problem for a lot of the defenses.
Because these guys were working, and there were measures from KK Sapon's administration.
Yeah.
Beniti was the administrative manager.
Yes.
Dr. Kwame Banuako. You have Listo Yesu Bukasin. And these are guys who will not allow you to do anything. And after every game, on Monday morning, 10 a.m.,
You're presenting your report.
Meeting the technical team.
Yeah, presenting your report.
Opokuti was special assistant to KK Sapon. And you see Maxwell sitting down, explaining what happened before, during, and after the game. And if questions have to come from Opokuti team, KK Sapon, Beniti,
Yes.
then they are done. If it has to do with the goalkeeper, the late Sulama, so ready.
Yes.
Joba has to answer to it.
Exactly.
And the moment we are done, he asks, what next, coach? When are you going to camp for your next game? He said, no, I just need just a day for a camp.
A day for camp.
He just Beniti, deal with it. What about media? Yes, Bukasin, deal with the media. Yes. Coach, thank you. We will speak to you. Maxwell is done with that. So he's going onto the pitch to do his work. That's it. The rest of the is for the management to deal with it. But is that how we see today?
There are problems. Anyway, 8:25. Let's proceed. Coach, let's talk about the game that will be happening at the Legon Stadium.
Sure.
Hearts of Oak welcome dreams. Hearts have a few challenges on their hands. Osea Sibe,
he's not playing. He's not because of suspension.
And then Mauli Wayo, he's also not playing. Where does that leave?
You see, Mauli Wayo, when I was surprised because you knew you were on card.
Yeah.
You scored the late goal.
And then you take off your shirt.
And sometimes I ask myself, these players, do they tell them that you are on 2 yellow cards before the game? Do they go through that with them? Because it's unnecessary by taking off your shirt because you know you'll be shown a yellow card. And today, Hearts of Oak may need you.
He was excited. He was happy.
No, okay.
I think it's orientation. I think, was it this season? Players scored the opener in about, was it the first 10 minutes and then took off his jersey. I'm like, are you okay?
10 minutes.
Yes, opening 10 minutes was one of the games.
You don't have to get overexcited.
Are you okay? There was Faisal Chawete.
Nations.
Yes, he scored an early goal in one of the games. I'm like, come on, gentlemen, are you okay? You could easily go into a tackle and then
quickly get a second yellow. That's it.
It may be a delayed reaction from you, and you get a second yellow card, red card.
That's it.
You've cost your team.
Yeah.
Just like Coach is saying, it's about the orientation.
Our players need orientation, seriously.
Coach, how does Hearts of Oak navigate this dreams assignment without two very important players?
I trust in Didi Dramani's
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
I've worked with him before, so I know him very well. Osea Sibe has been one of the key why Hearts of Oak, out of the 18 games, they've considered only 7.
Yeah.
Let's forget about Ben Jaren Asari and then Solomon Agbashi. He has been one person that has defended very well, and I'll give him the name Calvin Bassey. I'll give us
Calvin Bassey.
No, he's so committed to the Hearts of Oak cause that I ask myself, then Eliamano. Serious. When after game, go and speak to him, and you realize that no, the boy feels that he has let the team down That is, if they don't win, he believes that he didn't do his work well. Well, probably you and I will be praising him. He may feel that no, and you hardly find such players in our teams. So for him to be absent today, I think Ali Mohammed and then Adamu Mohammed, who for me played very well as a left back in Huawei against Huawei United. Actually, he's a typical centre back. I mean, golden kick against Kotoko. We saw him and then
Gripman.
Yes, Roland.
Yeah, Gripman.
Roland Gripman. Yes. So for me, I think that Didi is good to go. I mean, on the right side they are good to go, on the left side they are good to go. But their problem is going to be Milford. John Entry is back into the Dreams FC setup. In their last game against Heart of Lions, though it was heavily rain. He assisted, he scored, and he has also brought some kind of confidence in the boys. He's a senior most among all the guys in our local league.
Yes,
and he's been there before. So if he's with the boys, obviously they respect him, they listen to him. So more or less, don't have a foot on the foot of play, as well as a leader on the foot of play. Mo Shaban on the left is so good on the left side, and I believe that Dormo's work is doing very well. You know, his last 2 games at the Lagos Stadium, for me, that was the poorest performance I've seen the Dreams play against All Blacks and of course 11 Wonders. But this is a game between them and Hasselhoff. I think the last season, Hasselhoff went there and Hasselhoff beat them at Tema. If you remember, Dreams went to play their game there. That's the first leg. Hasselhoff won. But Benjamin Asari in goal for Hasselhoff, of course, he's the leader. His organization at the back is solid. But Didi Dramani is going to find it difficult to get somebody to help Hamza Issa up front. Because Fanduku, for me, I don't see him to be one person that Hasselhoff should rely on. And Hamza Issa is a fighter. He's a warrior. If he gets his scoring boots, then Dreams FC needs to sit up. Of course, they need to sit up. George Paco can pop in at any time to punish you in midfield. I mean, Abdul Karim is one player that Didi Dramani wants to use as a decoy and also used to be sending that decisive passes to Hamza Issa when he runs to probably do the hold-up play. For Afrane, I'm sure he's going to play as a pivot for them today. Of course, he has Collinson and the rest just behind. He's got players that can come in. Unfortunately, Hasselhoff couldn't register any new player, so he has to deal with this one. So Hussein is back. He played well in Huawei. So for Didi Dramani, he's good to go. They've not lost a game at the Lagos Sports Stadium. They are doing very well, playing and defending very well. But this is a game Dreams FC want to improve their away performance. After having that straight 4 wins at home, they want to do very well. And this is I would say a regional derby. I'll go to that and then here, but it's going to be a difficult one. So, but matches of this nature, you give Didi Dramani the advantage in this game because tactically he's superior over Wilfred Dormo. But it also depends on the players where they need to improvise and where they also need to be tactically disciplined.
Well, I agree with you. My only concern for Hearts is in attack. My fear is that they may not be sharp enough. Whereas Dreams have John Entry. We know his experience. We know his ability as a scorer. So I guess it's more of Hearts of
former Hearts of Oak player Suraj Seidu.
Yes.
But this time he comes from the bench to do a lot of work, tactical work for Wilfred Dormo. So of course, Hearts of Oak, we are definitely going to have problem up front because there's no Maulu Bayo who come from the bench probably to pull a surprise for them. But it is still a Hearts of Oak.
We'll see. Hearts versus Dreams.
Yes, it's still Hearts of Oak, but Dreams actually can pull a surprise.
The first game of the weekend. Let's talk about another team that has me very concerned. Pando Heart of Lions. Pando Heart of Lions. Their form has been terrible.
Yes.
They haven't won in their last 5. 4 losses, 1 draw. But they play 11
8 games.
They've won 8
home games, fine. But 8 games out of games, they've not won in their last 8. 3 and they've lost 5.
They've not won their last 8. If you check their results, they've not won in their last 8. As we established, the last time they won a game was the 16th of November, 2025. After that game, they haven't won any.
I think that
how do they handle this one? They face 11 Wonders, who are at the bottom of the league. Is this a chance for Heart of Lions?
Well, I think that it is a chance for them to redeem themselves. It's a time for them to say, we are back. You know, they picked up early in the preseason. So you realize in the preseason top 4, how they perform. They were even the Homo World Cup against Hasselhoff, the performance that they give. It's like a graph. I mean, they go up and then they are dropping. By the time probably they get up again, we are almost ending the Ghana Premier League. So this is where Bashir for
Sporty
needs.
FM.
But he only did only one signing. That is Fuzi Toto. Dotto or something. He was their former player, but he went to play in Sweden and he's back. He's a striker.
Okay.
So they signed him. Probably he'll be available for the game on Sunday. I believe that Heart of Lions will be able to sail through. In as much that 11 Wonders have signed as many as 6 players. These are Division 1 players and one player loaned from Dreams FC, Desmond Tete, one player who has not been playing for Dreams FC. And they have Tozo Achu from Mighty Royals. They have Suraj Reyes, who's a free, Obed Ofori, Akachi All Stars, Festus Nkrumah, and a loan from Nations FC. But they are very good. If you had watched their game against Basake, in as much that they played so well in the second half, I also attribute Basake's performance to they coming to play at Tuba on Sunday, drive back to Nzema,
and then
on Monday, train on rest recovery on Tuesday, train on Wednesday, drive back to Accra on Thursday and play on Friday. How do you expect the players to give you a full 90 minutes? So for the whipping side of the league, and I've said it. Look, for 11 Wonders, they cannot make the Ghana Premier League. They will definitely be relegated based on the points that they have accumulated as of now. So for Heart of Lions, it's a straight 3 points for Heart of Lions.
Okay, Kelvin, your thoughts on this?
Well, I think Heart of Lions should be able to win this. The problem had been, the inconsistencies in breaking the setup today. This player is missing, the next day this player is missing. But I think now they have a full complement of the team, and they are firing now. They are wounded lions now. They are wounded. Their hearts are wounded, and they are pierced at the fortress, at the den. They cannot afford to drop any more points. And this is not a side that I think should give Heart of Lions any sort of problems. They should be able to dispatch them with ease. Many may say that yes, this is the Ghana Premier League. We've seen a number of very good results come from other teams, but this is the Heart of Lions team that has too much quality. If you look at the quality and the quality of 11 Wonders, it is that very big. So I just expect them to bury their chances. The forwards in attack, Efson and the like, need to convert their chances, and I think it's very much important. The likes of Samuel Boama, if you look at the Heart of Lions team, very good team. Echedogli, Ishmaelado, but I think that there are certain decision making in football. The fine margins do happen, and I know that Aholu, Daniel Nieje, who are backing the head coach Bashir Hayford, we just fine tune those areas, and then they get it. There are times you see the coaches will tell you it is my duty to make the build up from defense, midfield to attack, but in the final third, finishing the chances all depends on you and the decision making. So I just hope that this time around they'll do justice to it, because if you look at Heart of Lions play, just like coaches say, they play beautiful, they work everything out, they get to the final third, and that is where the problem is coming from. But I'm sure against 11 Wonders, they should be able to beat them. 11 Wonders are now, they've been ripped apart.
No,
Frank Arre.
They've transferred 2 of their players to Australia.
Yes.
That is William Dankwa, the winger.
Yes,
and of course Frank Arre. They were even pushing for their captain.
Emmanuel Boati.
Yes, but unfortunately they couldn't get him.
Wonders are in trouble.
Wonders will never end.
Yeah. Wonders really don't never end. Anyway, let's talk about Nations and Adriana. I think it's another big one this weekend. Yeah, Nations are at home. They are the Kwame Chase Sports Complex. They take on Adriana Stars, who are trying to push hard and chase Mediama. Mediama hold a 5-point gap on Gold Stars and Adriana. Both teams are tied on 32. Mediama on 37. Coach, your thoughts on this, and then we'll talk about Vision's home game with Mediama. Nations are at home. They take on Adriana.
It's a big game, no doubt about it. And Nations have signed 2 players. I mean, they've released Emmanuel Ano to Moldova Sheriff, and of course they've signed Alex Asso, a former Inter-Allies and Gold Stars striker. He went for free, and of course Aite Akwe is also a forward. So Frimpomans want to augment his attack very well. But I think that Adriana will probably be a tough customer. Last season they went there to pick a point. I know the first one they went there to pick a point from Emmanuel Mafu, who is injured. Yeah. And Alex Boache is back. He even scored in their last game. So it makes their team solid. Until the penalty that they had in the MS of the game against Karela, they will have drew at home again. But this time they have the likes of Bafada, that midfielder from Future Stars when Kotoko played them in the FA Cup. Adriana have signed him. Daniel Kwame Awuni, formerly of Accra Lions, one of the finest young. At the point, Kotoko were pushing. Dr. Ogun was pushing for him.
Okay.
But Accra Lions decided to sell him out, and then the young man is back after 6 months or so. So he's now with Adriana, and they have Benjamin Chivano.
Sporty
Under 17.
Yes, they've signed him to the end of the season. Adriana is having him. Samuel Oseko, formerly of Nations, and then Became United centre back. So it's going to be a difficult one. But for him to win 4 games at home, though he's not picked a win away from home, his last game was against All Blacks. He nearly won the game, but unfortunately there was a penalty against him at the 90 minutes +1 for All Blacks to get the equalizer. So it's going to be a difficult one. I will not be surprised if these games will end in a draw.
Okay. Other games, Karela take on Samatex. Young Apostles are at home to Hohoe United. We saw Hohoe United losing last week to Hearts of Oak at home, but now they travel. They go to Young Apostles.
Young Apostles also lost 3-0 to me.
Yeah, they also lost.
Yes. So 2 teams that lost over the weekend.
But I expect Young Apostles to carry all the 3 points.
Okay.
Yeah. But you see, this whole United team are very good travelers too. When they play at home, they draw points. But when they are on the road, they cause a lot of trouble.
So probably there's a lot of pressure from
Yes.
But I mean, their last 5 in terms of their away form is not 1 winning 5. 1 winning 5 on the road. It's not the greatest. But well, let's see what they can do. Because let's talk about the final game: Vision versus Mediama. Now, Mediama are hoping that they can walk away from this game with at least 1 point, and then we'll see. Because teams are.
They have a 5-point
gap,
and
so it could come down. It could cut down to 3 if they get a draw and other teams win. But now they are going to Vision, and Vision at home. Sometimes they can be very difficult.
But you see, the point is that teams are praying that Mediama drop all points. Mediama is also praying that Kotoko do not win, House of Folk do not win, and probably because Kotoko is playing good.
Yes, they are on the road.
If it ends in a draw, Mediama will be happy. If House of Folk should drop a points to Dreams FC, then Mediama is good to go. Whatever happens at they don't mind. They'll go back home and then they'll pick all their 3 points against Karela United. That is how they believe in. Vision have had some players, 3 players from Nations FC on loan. I mean, the likes of Farouk Mohammed. This is a guy in Division 1 with Hohoe United. First season, he scored 17 goals. In the second season, prior to their qualification to the Premiership, he scored 15 goals. And now, at the end of the season, he was sold to Nations FC, and he couldn't even score even a goal for Nations FC. So he has been loaned to Vision FC. Emmanuel Akesi used to play for Accra Great Olympics as an orthodox 8. And he... Albert Amoa, Emmanuel Entry were in the Olympics, and then of course Benjamin Asari.
Yeah.
He has also been loaned from Nations to Vision FC. And you talk of Yaya Abu Suleiman, he's a loan player for Nations. He was recruited from Young Apostles. He played a couple of matches and couldn't have playing time, so he has also been loaned to Vision FC. And of course Alidu Mohammed, the former Lagos City's midfielder who used to wear the 8 jersey, Kotoko were after him. House of Folk were after him, Mediama after him, but unfortunately, Vision had the nod to sign him, and I think that he has also signed for Vision FC. Nana Ajimai, in his last 2 away games, has done very well, going to beat Adriana and Doma. Out of 6, he had 4, and then also going to Samatex to pick a point. Tells you that tactically, Nana Ajimai is doing something with the young team of Vision FC. I believe that Tanko has also got the young team.
Yeah.
Mediama has also signed. Kevin Obin, formerly of Brukum Chelsea and Adriana, he signed early this season, but due to injury, when Moses were treating him, he's fully fit, he's in the team. And they've signed Abdul Rahman, the striker for Nswatraman, a striker who knows how to play ball.
Yeah.
The striker who ball, he's one of them. Mediama had wanted to sign him the early of the Tago did everything, but his agent said he's going to Togo, but he's back. He did his medical.
I can imagine that for a striker who can play, certainly he will excite Ibrahim Tanko.
Yeah, he needs to work because Kingsley Blaye is now their lead marksman. He's scoring and he's playing very well, so you need to work extra hard. And of course, they've signed Victor Odru. The player Kotoko said that he fails medicals and then he went home. And yes, it's true because there were issues with his toe, the small one. And I felt that if Kotoko really needed him, they could have treated him for him to be able to play for them. But I think that they let him go. He went to treat himself, and Mediama went in for the medicals, and he's good to go. So he has also signed for for Mediama. For Prince Owusu to be on the bench of Mediama should tell you that they've got a pool of players. I mean, Dario Fojo, Emmanuel Nkrumah, Fuzi in Milford. Wow, that guy. And you talk of Salim Adams. Look at the pair of defense that they have. They have one of the finest goalkeepers, Felix Che. It's never going to be easy for Coach Ibrahim Tanko. When you talk of Nana Jemai, Ajete in Milford, Sanya as a right wing back, they are delight to watch on the AstroTurf at the near.
This is Sporty FM.
I would love to watch that game. It's a difficult game. Seriously, I cannot predict this game.
Mediama going to Tema. Anyway, the full fixture list for our listeners. Hearts of Oak take on Dreams. That's today. That game is at 3:30.
Yeah.
On Saturday, Vision welcome Mediama. Bibiani Gold Stars at home to Asante Kotoko. Brekum Chelsea welcome Swedru All Blacks. We haven't spoken about Brekum Chelsea. We'll talk about them finally. Okay, maybe we should do that. After getting a point on the road against Asante Kotoko, they return home to face Swedru All Blacks. All Blacks themselves have had a very funny season. They are 11th on the table, but they are unbeaten in their last 5. 2 wins, 3 draws. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, but you know their coach, on his Facebook wall, has resigned from All Blacks. So on 2 training sessions, he was at a training ground just observing things. He didn't do training, but officially, no, All Blacks has not come out to say they fought with I've met Fatty. Yeah. But there were rumors that he was going to Kotoko, which I knew it was not true. But I believe that with the signings that they've also made, as I spoke about Frank Awere from 11 Wonders, they've signed Eric Riafi Dankwa of one of the teams, and then from Future Stars, 3.5 years. William Dankwa from 11 Wonders, also 3 years. To add up to what they have, it's never going to be easy for All Blacks going all the way to Brekum, whereby they will not be having their coach. I'm talking about Samuel Bodu will not be on the bench due to the red card. Yes, and when he went with Galaxies to South Africa, his assistant stood in won their first home game. So I believe that it's going to be a difficult. They have a very good team. When you mentioned their Kosi Soroto in Milford, when you mentioned the likes of
Tinedu,
Samuel Tinedu, he's doing very well. I mean, Benjamin Abedu as left back. They have Tufo, who played as a defender,
wonderful
but he's a right back, solid one. I mean, a woman side was on the bench against Kotoko. He can come back. Their goalkeeper. They have a very good team at the Brekum Golden City Park.
At the right back.
This is the one at the time people were calling for him as a blaster.
Yes.
He played for the Chan team of Anoka at Algeria. He even scored that wonderful goal. So it clearly tells you that Chelsea have got some delightful players that you can go to watch them against Swedru All Blacks. Is Randolph Mensah going to have his goal scoring powers? Frank Awere is coming in to support the likes of Aswanzi in Milford for All Blacks. It's never going to be easy, but I tip Brekum Chelsea to stay at home with all the 3 points.
Okay. The full fixture list for our listeners: Hearts of Oak versus Dreams. Vision take on Mediama. Gold Stars at home to Asante Kotoko. Brekum Chelsea host Swedru All Blacks. Bando Heart of Lions, they take on 11 Wonders. Basake Holy Stars welcome Bechem United. Karela at home to Samatex.
You see, that Karela game is between Nuru Ahmed and then Samatex. He won the league with Samatex. And the first round of the league, he went there to pick a point from them. Now that Christopher Eni has known his team very well, I think Samatex has also made some signings that I think is really going to help them. They've signed 2 players, Gabriel Osei from Park Academy and of course Samad Che, the captain for Park Academy. These are all Northerners. Probably they want to augment their squad. You know, when they play as a folk, they had to use Ebenezer Akwa, their centre back, as a pivot, and then they use Koku Osei and Ofori as 3 midfielders to be able to tame House of Folk in midfield. But I think that Kofi Essien, the right back, people should watch him.
Yeah,
that boy is very good. He reminds me of Samuel Nkum, his days with Kumasi Asante Kotoko when he moved from second year as to Kotoko. Very good on the right, very skillful when he gets into the penalty area. But Coach Nuru Ahmed have also gotten good players. I think Ivan Osewusu, he won the show for Osamates when they won the league. But this time he has shifted camp and he's with Karela United after coming out of the ACL surgery that he did. Coach Nuru Ahmed knows the team very well, but it's under the care of a new manager, that is Christopher Eni. If you had watched the shape of the game that they play against Asofo, if they should go to Tamale with the same shape, the same mentality, it will be difficult for Carolina United to score. But Carolina United are yet to lose a game at home. They are a solid side. Blaise Ege is having his medicals in one of the clubs in Mexico, top flight football. So they've signed another player. I think he's not a Ghanaian, whether he's from the southern part of the African country or not. Carolina, he's called Tomelo Steven.
Okay.
Yeah, he's attacking.
Sounds like a South African name.
Tomelo Stevens, Lesotho or something. Yes. He's from the southern part of Africa. This also signed Solomon Boaji forward, and then Richard Beckham, a former Carolina striker, came to the Nations. He couldn't make time, and then he's moved back. So it's going to be a tough game. But at Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium, I trust Aliu Mahama boys. I'm talking about Honorable Harry Juice boys.
Carolina.
At least a slim win, either a 2-1 or 1-0 win over Samatex.
All right, and then we've spoken about Young Apostles and Hoho, and then Sunday 3:30 is Nations FC hosting Adriana.
We're having 3 games on TV today. Hasselfolk Dreams FC is live on TV.
Okay.
Tomorrow Kotoko Gold Stars in Baby is on TV, and then of course my good friend will be at Abdul guys.
Gold Stars Kotoko is on TV.
Yes, on
Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm watching that
on Sunday.
After I watch the Manchester derby, I watch after
Manchester.
Man City to win
A
3-0.
friend told me that Manchester why is in Miri.
But please beat City and beat City. Okay. Beat them. We want you.
But don't lose.
Don't lose the game. Draw or beat them.
Let me ask you a question. In this current state, do you think Manchester?
Yes.
Oh yes, it's football. It's football.
Now there's
It's football. Yes, it's football.
We are supporting United
Yes.
to at
We
least
trust you people
point
to get us the
Yes,
results.
do it.
anyway.
For the sake of football and the fans of United, they at least.
I've forgotten that United are going to Arsenal next weekend.
No, for that one, they don't think about
Yes,
that.
don't. That's why I want you to win.
Just win.
So that next weekend, next week you will lose there.
Uh-huh.
Next weekend United will win. That's a fact. So they win here.
Uh-huh.
But it's against Man City.
No,
Yes,
but they
win.
can't-
You can beat them.
Oh, City, they
Your
can beat
City
them.
rivals. Manchester is red.
We've advised him to whatever he's giving to City, he should bring half to them last time. So of course he won't give out.
He won't give 100%.
Yeah, so-
Do you know that he recently scored against Man
that one they
United
said
in the
but
4-4?
Barawak Cup for that one, you understand?
Yes.
They're welcoming us.
What you watch? Michael Carrick. Bro. You open
You should call his brother Xavier Alonso. They'll tell you what happened.
you open it. Anyway, so very interesting games this weekend in the Ghana Premier League. 3 games on TV. So the Hearts game is on TV.
Yes, and then
Bibiani Gold Stars.
Yes, and then Nations and Adriana.
Nations and Adriana. That's on site.
Yes,
Kelvin, where will you be?
He'll be on Bibiani and then
I'll
to
be in
Kumasi.
Bibiani.
So I'm
Oh,
telling
you are going to
Yes.
Bibiani and then you go. Wow, that's a bit
Yes.
of a journey.
But football,
him, it's not a journey.
football is football.
You see what he's saying? To him, it's not.
It's not a journey. It's enjoyment.
Yes.
It's a journey. It's quite.
I see. Coach, of all the games, which one will you be focused on the most?
I think the Vision Mediama game.
Okay.
The Vision Mediama
Okay.
game. Looking at Mediama exploits, the signings, the motivation, the kind of game they are playing. For Vision FC to go to Dorman to beat Adriana, to go to Samatex to pick a point. Now away 2 games and now they are coming home for their fans to come and see what they
Sporty
can do.
FM, the
And for me,
voice
that
of
is the big
sports.
game I have to watch.
Okay. Okay.
Though I'll be at the Lagos Stadium today, precise to do the House of game. I'll still think about. And that game is on Saturday. That is Vision.
The Vision game at Tema on Saturday.
It's unfortunately, it's not coming on TV. Yes, it's on Saturday.
My Saturday is loaded. I would have loved to have seen Vision
Yes,
at
yes,
home.
yes, yes, yes.
One of these weekends, I need to clear the schedule.
Michael Osekre, he's the
And go
chief
and
of staff
see-
of Ghana
yeah,
football.
and go and see.
I greet you this morning.
and go and see Vision play at the Nia J Kraku. For those who want to know, the Nia J, which community is that? Oh, that's in like the new Tema Newtown. Where is it?
Abigail will show you.
Okay. We'll see Abigail for location. No problem. Hearts, Dreams, Vision Mediama, Gold Stars, Kotoko, Brekum, Chelsea, Swedru, All Blacks,
Sporty FM.
Heart of Lions, Wonders, Holy Stars, Bechem United, Karela Samatex, Young Apostles, Hohoe United, and Nations FC taking on Adriana. Because before I let you go, I want your quick thoughts on the final 2 games of the AFCON. Nigeria face Egypt in the 3rd and 4th, and then the final, Morocco, Senegal.
Well, if you permit me, after that, let me go through the the second window signings of the club.
Yes, yes.
Mention the name.
Yes, please do. Let's deal with that, and then we do.
I think that Senegal were strong for the Egyptians. You know, in games like that, people think that yes, when it comes to the crunch, the big guy show. Mo Salah couldn't show because he was not given the opportunity to show. Mamouche was always just complaining. But I love the way the Senegalese played. Sadio Mane in 2021 when they won, he was the one who did the last kick, won the trophy for Senegal against the Egyptians, and he's the one who just had that lone goal for Senegal against the Egyptians. And in that game, you could clearly see that it was a total football from the Senegalese, total defense, total attack, and of course, mobility of the players was just delight to watch. A player of this Ghana game, 36 years, and he was playing like 24-year-old guy in midfield against these Egyptians. They dominated the second half. They created the chances. I mean, you cannot mention 3 goalkeepers in this AFCON and you not mention the goalkeeper of Senegal. Mendy has been with Chelsea. He's won trophies. And of course, where he is today in Saudi, he's also performing very well. So the talk of experience, they have it in their team. Though Koulibaly couldn't play, they have a replacement for Koulibaly. And the young players in midfield and the wide areas for Senegal tells you how transition of players from the various national team does. And for me, we need to learn from them.
Okay.
Sadio Mane is aging, but look at the kind of telepathy he had with these boys in the game against Egypt. Yes, Egypt tried their best, especially the last 5-10 minutes of the game. Wanted to at least pull it back to go to the extra time, but the Senegalese were composed, and of course they were focused to be able to say through. So for me, I wasn't surprised because I already predicted Senegal going through. The Nigerian game against the Moroccans, I believe that when the name Danelaye was mentioned to be the man in the middle of the game, and of course the 2 South African assistant referees, that was where Nigerians had it wrong. That is where I think that they lost the game.
Okay.
They lost the game in the sense that they believe that Ghana doesn't love them to be able to progress in football tournaments or competitions.
Okay.
That is their mind. 2, they also believe that they have issues with South Africa. So if you appoint a South African, you appoint a Ghanaian referee where they believe that he will not be fair to them.
Yeah.
And of course, appoint a South African officials to also. Then of course, obviously, there talks about CAF trying to favor the host nation.
This is Sporty FM.
But as professionals that they are, I believe that they should have put it all that behind them and play what is expected of them, because the way in the manner Nigerians were passing through to this stage of the competition was not just names. They were playing, they were scoring.
Yeah.
But the Moroccans are on top of their game. Hakimi, for me, he's the best. Diaz has equal Osei Kofi, our all-time top scorer
in the AFCON.
He has equal his record, 5 straight games, 5 goals. And I think that he is one player. I think we also have to give credit to the left back of the Nigerian side. To have these 2 players on the same line, that is their strong point. Of course, they have a lot of load within that area. But he was able to put a brakes on them. So there were not enough positive from that side to the Nigerian penalty area. You realize that the Nigerian goalkeeper comes out once a while to block and also try to cover. But all was the work of Calvin Bassey at the back. At the point, he has to use his physique to defend. He has to use his mentality to defend. Yes, when it comes to the game itself, he was trying as much as possible to do a counter with what's the name of the striker?
The Nigerian striker,
Osimhen. Yes, Victor Osimhen. He wanted to do a counter with him, but Victor Osimhen would also love to also have body encounter with the defense of the Moroccans, which it was. So obviously he always loses simple balls that you think that he can even do. He couldn't do one hold-up play in the game.
Yeah.
For Ademola Lookman to be able to pounce on it and punish the Moroccans. It was only just 2 shots. The one that Bono just pushed back to play, and which one again? So for me, the complaints were here and there because they believe that some of the decisions of Danelaye was not fair to them, and which I agree in sense, especially the yellow card that was given to Bassey's yellow card. It was unnecessary. Yeah. It was unnecessary, and that tackle in midfield was, I think, on Victor Osimhen. I think it was not a foul for the Moroccans. It was a foul for Victor Osimhen, but he took it out. That was where Victor went to him, and probably he was saying things to him. But I love the mentality of Daniel Aye. He overlooked whatever Victor was trying to say, whether he was trying to intimidate him or not, but he overlooked it. And 120 minutes, I enjoyed the game that he officiated. And let's be fair, the Moroccans were dominant in the half of the Nigerians. When it comes to penalty shooters, it can go either way. But the lackadaisical attitude of Chikwueze and his colleague, for me, they have to look at that and then they should stop blaming Daniel Aye. I mean, the best two teams that are in the finals. I think that nobody can question that. The Moroccans, they've worked, and I believe that they being in the finals, they are deserving finalists and of course the finalists.
We'll see. So who do you think wins the third and fourth place game? Nigeria, Egypt?
I think the Nigerians will do if they will be able to put behind them what happened in the game and then play. Of course, they are going to miss Bassi.
Yeah,
but I'm sure they should have an equal replacement. The Egyptians are not all that strong when it comes to attacking play. They rely mostly on Mo Salah, and we know Mo Salah the last 2 years is not Mo Salah of today. So of course it's Mamouche that will try to penetrate through the midfield, commit players with the ball with speed. But if the Nigerians are stable, and of course Ndidi will be back in the setup, the Nigerians should be able to go past the Egyptians. But I think that for the finals, it's not because of West Africa. I doff my hat for Senegal, though the Moroccans are playing so well. But I love the way the Senegalese played against the Egyptians. And it's the same North Africans that they are going to play. These Senegalese players are top players. They know how to play the fast game, the quick game. They know when the tempo should be changed and all that. We are going to witness a very decent
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sports.
Should win the trophy.
Okay, Senegal. You are tipping Senegal to win another one.
Yes.
Sadio Mane's second AFCON.
Yes.
We'll see about that. Coach,
let me just go through the names of
the
players.
signings.
Yes. Let's go to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They have Prince Badu. He has signed 3 years. Dogo Yakubu from Mid City has also signed 3 years. Kotoko signed 2 players, and then of course the return of Albert Amwa as a lone player. So Kotoko is having 3. So Didi Abdul Karim Zito should be happy with these players. When you talk of Samates, they've signed 2 players. I spoke about Samed Che from Park Academy and the likes, and of course on the Kutu to Bechim, they have Godfred Yosin from Cheetah FC. Foster Jemfi has also been signed by Bechim United. Adriana have signed Salim Bafada from Future Stars and Milford, Daniel Kwame Awuni, a winger, a free player, and then Benjamin Chivano, a forward, and of course Samuel Oseko for the centre back from Nations FC. Karela have signed Tumelo Steven Lesotho, from the southern part of Africa, and then Solomon Abuaji forward, and of course Richard Berkon is a free player, a former player of Karela United. Brooklyn Chelsea have signed Dominic Frimpong, a lone player from Adriana, and then Samuel Tenedu from Kumasi Asante Kotoko. We talk of Vision FC, they've signed Farouk Mohammed from Nations as a lone player, Emmanuel Akese, a loan from Nations FC, Yakubu Sulemana, also a lone player from Nations, and of course Shahadu Sule, also a left back, has also been signed. Vision FC have gone in for Farouk, a lone player from Nations FC, Emmanuel Akese, a lone player, and I've already mentioned that. And of course we talk of Karela United have also signed. I've mentioned the Brooklyn Chelsea. I've mentioned that. Vision FC. I've mentioned that. And Swedro Blacks, Frank Awere from 11 Wonders. Emmanuel Riafi Dankwa also from there. And Mohamed Bangura has also signed from Hoho United. I think he's the Chan captain of the Guinean Chan team. He has also signed. I think he played against Asofuk. And of course they've signed Yosin Bequin and of course Stephen Dio, a former Swatre player. Stephen Dio, he played also against Accra Suffolk, and then Emmanuel Chireme, not the former Brooklyn Chelsea Bangula. Emmanuel Chireme. And then 11 Wonders have signed Tosu Achu forward, and of course Suraj Ares. And of course that is all that I can say. When you talk of Heart of Lions, they've signed one player, their former player, who went to Sweden and is back. He called Fauzi Dotto. He's a striker. Probably he's going to start banging the goals for them. Started this Sunday against 11. Young Apostles have Andy Kumi, a Unistar player, Unistar Academy. At that time, he played for Sika Konos Blaster. He has also been to Kumasi Asante Kotoko and he went to the Team United. He came to Kutuku Royals. He went to Mediema. He's moved all around, and then of course to Port City at Tema, and now he's a lone player to Young Apostles. Kwampuku is not Kwampuku of Kotoko. His name is just Kwampuku. He has signed for Young Apostles, and of course, Gold Stars have signed the former Chan striker and of course, Kotokuro striker Augustin Boachi.
Okay.
Wow. So these are the signings that the clubs have done, and I believe that we're going to see improvement in their play, how the teams are going to improve. I spoke about Mediama. They've also signed Victor Odro. He's a free player. They've also signed the likes of Abdul Rahman from Isuatreman.
Okay.
He's striker, new ball. And of course, Kevin Obi.
All right.
And so for me, these are the signings that went on yesterday, 11:59.59 seconds.
Those are the players that came through the window.
That came through. So
Wonderful.
week 19, we're expecting wonderful play, good results, surprises, but we entreat the fans to be at the Vero Stadium,
go,
especially
yes,
to be at the
Legon Stadium. Go to Tema.
FC,
Go and watch.
to play Accra Suffolk.
Yes.
And let's see whether Solomon Agbashi is now out of his physical and mental rest.
Let's see if he gets back
to be on the bench of Suffolk.
Coach, thank you so much. That was Coach Ebenezer Sefa.
You should tell the clubs that there is Ashanti Regional High School's football competition.
They should go and
going on. They should go and watch and get players. And stop signing players who have knee problems and all that.
Kelvin.
But that's the
all right.
truth. If you want to get power player, get them at this age.
At this age.
But then that was sign of Ofosu and the likes when they were in SHS. So why can't we get these players
with knee problems?
Accra Lions and then Wafa, Vision. They are getting players who are in SHS, DHS, and then they are playing for them.
And the club will also tell you that what is the position.
Are you let them continue?
No, that's something that
yes, that was those words.
What's the position on the league?
On the league law.
They're the same players who come back and
then
that are
having knee problems.
Yes.
You are signing young players. They don't have knee problems. And at the end of the day, you are struggling down there. And
3 minutes after 9, the Ghana Premier League review is on Monday. We'll bring back Coach on Monday to review the games. If you can't make it to a league venue, there are 3 games on TV. Sit down and watch. Monday, join us for the conversation. 4 minutes after 9. All right, let's get into our Friday morning surprise. We'll talk about the AFCON in a second. But today being the 16th of January, the African giant, Mr. Burna Boy, has something fresh, something new for all of us. Calls this one for everybody, and he's collaborated with all kinds of amazing people. He's partnered the Sporty group to drop this song. So first time airplay, fresh on the Ghanaian airwaves, the newest one from Mr. Burna Boy, the African giant. He calls this one for everybody. Enjoy.
Sporty FM Gotcha, the voice of sports.
to like extend the record and set the bar high for the next AFCON. All right, let me get to the line. Our guys in Morocco are on. Gary Smith is on. Michael Asai-Bredu is on. Gents, good morning. How are we doing today?
Good morning, Nathan. I'm good.
Gary, how are you doing? Hello, Gary, are you on? Okay, we'll bring Gary on. I think, I don't know whether he's muted. Okay, maybe he's muted for now. Michael, let's start off with a rekindling of our debate from a few weeks ago on the third and fourth place game. So the third and fourth place game is alive and kicking, and it is featuring in a major competition. I know you don't like the third and fourth place game, but it is here nonetheless, and it will complete the journey for Nigeria and Egypt, the final game that will play in this year's AFCON. I don't know whether you still want to debate the viability or the necessity of a third and fourth place game, but it's here. We have it on our hands.
Yeah, definitely. You see, I raised my point some weeks ago on the basis of the mental side, the psychological side, and why it does not really bring the best out of teams. Although there are also arguments you can make to advance much more pro argument for why we should play it. You see, in the whole contest and everything, I came into a competition to compete for the ultimate. If I don't win, I don't think there should be any compensation for a bronze medal or a fourth place finish. I don't think it is absolutely justified in that contest. Maybe it served that purpose in times past, but in the current scheme of affairs and how tournaments are being played, I think that the participants in the third place playoff will be mentally and physically drained. They wouldn't really have that kind of energy to showcase something. But again, you can look at the other side of the argument, which points towards the commercial aspect. You have companies who have invested monies to broadcast the AFCON. And for broadcasters or right holders, the more the number of games that are on the screens, the more they stand a chance to recoup any amount that they invested into it. You get it? So more games means more revenue, which is good for rights holders and also good for tournament organizers because it allows them to sell their competition because they are looking at more matches. And if you look at how things have been done, FIFA are increasing their respective tournaments. Now the World Cup has been expanded to allow for more participants, more matches, and then more revenue. You look at other competitions like the UEFA Champions League, it is basically the same. They've increased the number of matches, they've expanded the tournament. So what I'm pointing towards is that football has not just become a sport where we compete and people enjoy that aspect. It has also become a very huge commercial vehicle that drives revenue for a lot of these organizers and companies that are affiliated to it and known as partners. So that is a justification for why third place matches should be played. But in the spirit of competition and whatever it stands for, I don't think the third place playoff befits or is relevant in the current scheme of affairs now, no. But if you add the other side, the commercial aspect, the whole idea of playing more matches, and even if you are to escalate it to the point of where fringe players get the opportunity to also play for their teams, then I think it fits it. So maybe another day we can have this debate like in the whole. But today I just want to just give it to the pro, those who are for the third place playoff. Yes, I think their reasons are justified. Yeah.
I'm a happy man because I was about to make my arguments based on some of the points you've made, you've made, and a few others. But look, I also do concede that when you look at pure competition, I totally understand the other side that says we came in to win the biggest thing. If it's not available, why do we want to even stress ourselves and play this game? But when I look at all the other reasons, I think it counts. Maybe one day we'll have that debate. But be that as it may, that game is happening. Nigeria versus Egypt. I wonder where the two teams will be mentally. Where do you think the two teams are mentally, emotionally, psychologically going into that one? And whether one team will be hungrier to pick up consolation. Some people will see it as scant. But where do you think the two teams are, even away from tactics, but just mentally, emotionally, concerning this game?
Well, I think Nigeria, Egypt will be definitely deflated, judging by what transpired in their respective semi-final matches. Nigeria, at a point in time where it looked like they were unbeatable, they were the top team in the competition attacking wise, and they met Morocco and failed to even master 3 shots on target against the Moroccans. And then again, they were eliminated in terms of making the final. So it's much more of a big blow, and it kind of affects everything motivation that they had towards this competition. Again, Egypt, similar story. They have been chasing glory at the AFCON since 2010. They made it to the finals on 2 occasions, in 2017, 2021, and then they suffered a heartbreak. And they had this kind of feel around them. And I think the whole Dima Maghreb chant feeds into Egypt also trying to make a way to the final and win it, because they are also a Maghrebian side. And their failure to do so after they were bossed or dominated by Senegal also affects them. So yes, mentally, psychologically, these two teams will be drained, and it would affect how they approach the third place playoff. But I think, judging by situations or circumstances around these teams, this third place playoff will not look like a usual and normal third place playoff. I think there is quite more to fight for individually, if you look at the coaches as well, and then the individual players in the team have certain things to fight for. For instance, Victor Osimhen is the second top scorer in this competition. He has 4 goals. Mo Salah has 4 goals. The top scorer as it stands now is Brahim Diaz. He has 5 goals. So this game presents an opportunity for one of Osimhen or Salah to increase their goal tally, either equal the current top scorer or even go 1 better or 2 better than the current top scorer, and then finish as the Golden Boot winner in this competition. That is one. There are other players in there who will also want to prove a point, especially when they have not been given the opportunity in previous games that their countries have played. For the coaches, Eric Schell, I think he would love to finish this tournament with something to show for. At the last AFCON, he came with Mali. They suffered a heartbreak in the quarterfinal when they had led the Ivory Coast team, eventually succumbing after extra time. He came into this tournament, his team played very well, but I don't think it is shameful if they were prevented from entering into the final by the host nation, which is Morocco. And so a third place finish for Eric Schell helps him to provide a certain evidence that if it is still given the time, if it is given the support to work as a Nigeria head coach, perhaps it could be more than he has proven. And I think the third place finish would help his cause. The same applies to Captain Hussam Hassan. He also needs to prove something, although Egypt will not really buy into the whole idea that they placed third at the AFCON and so they should be hailed. But he would see it as progress, especially judging by the way he delivered his post-match interview. He said they've been here and the people should appreciate the progress they have made and that they can build on this success and then perhaps achieve greater things in the future. He will also need this to prove. So I think the circumstances around the two teams gives me the impression that, yes, it is a third place playoff and it is not mostly played with that seriousness. These two teams will prepare and then play against each other like it is a very competitive game. They will fiercely compete against each other. Yes, there might be some 1 or 2 changes, but I still think there will be some key players in there who who want to prove a point and also make a case for themselves in terms of chasing individual awards. And that's why I think that we are not going to see the typical third place playoff where mostly it is dull, a lot of the key players are not involved, and then you don't get that kind of feel you would ordinarily get in a fiercely competitive encounter. This one will be very different.
All right, let me bring Gary in. Gary, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Michael. Good morning, team.
Good morning.
I forgot to ask the usual questions from the hoodies and bomber jackets. Yeah, it looks like the temperatures are doing their thing again, aren't they?
The temperature is temperaturing. I woke up to, as I told you, I've not gone out, but it's raining, right?
Yeah, it drizzled for some time. I don't know. I need to check the window.
Right. So yeah, the temperature is temperaturing.
Fascinating stuff. Gary, do you share Michael's thoughts that we are not going to see a dud game, third and fourth, between Nigeria and Egypt? He thinks we'll see a lively encounter because there are individual records to chase. There's Eric Shell who wants to win something to make an argument for an extension, possibly. And then there are the Egyptians who possibly just want to win a medal to, I don't know, make them feel that the journey to Morocco was worth it. Or you think we'll have a dud? Where do you stand on this?
I think
Sporty FM.
both teams have different reasons why they should, at least in my opinion, give it a 10/10 performance or give it the best they can. And you've enumerated some of them. Other reasons would include the fact that for Egypt, every single game going into the World Cup is very important to learn things about themselves and things about the team. And this is yet another good game. Nigeria in a third place team is not a bad thing at all. And if the two teams are not lacking foresight, they would notice, or they should know, that again, the rankings from this game are going to be important later on down the road, you see.
Okay.
Because there's another AFCON coming, there's going to be pots, there's going to be... So all the national teams must understand that no competitive game these days is useless, particularly if CAF implements what they want to do, that they said they will implement in the African Nations League and all that. It means that what we call competitive friendlies will, for a while, become a thing of the past. And every single competitive friendly played under the guise of the Nations League, the African Nations League, will take on even more significance. Based on all these, certainly, a third place AFCON match is nothing to go and give your 2/10 about, in my opinion.
Okay. And so based on this, you expect stronger starting 11s or a few new faces?
Oh no, there will be some changes. In the context of the broader picture that I have given as well, because you see, like I said, for Egypt especially, who have qualified for the World Cup, every single game counts to test a number of players who will want to force their places into the team or would want to stake a claim to certain positions altogether. So they do have some players on the bench who have not been used, who fans have been asking for, but have not gotten to see, because you don't change a winning team if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Nigeria especially have a couple of those. Nigeria have a stronger team overall, all things considered, than Egypt. And so they have had a number of players who have not had the opportunity to show what they've got at all, because, this current side who have gotten to the semi-final so far have done the job for them. And they, in particular, I think, we'll see a bit more changes, or we should see a bit more changes in the Nigerian setup, most likely, than Egypt. Yes, but we will see as strong teams as possible. Mm-hmm.
Michael, do you also expect strong starting 11s or a couple of faces or a mix of strong starters and some fringe players?
First off, Egypt will miss out on one very important central defender Abdul Magui. He got a yellow card, means he's suspended for this game. That aside, Osama Hassan will not make too many changes. Again, they'll want to avoid a defeat that will be embarrassing. Don't forget that Egypt, Nigeria, they are powerhouses in the African game. So both coaches will be very careful about making too many changes into their team that affects their chemistry and affects the overall play. So yes, there might be some 1 or 2 changes, but I don't think it will be that wholesale changes that would actually affect the team's structure and then how they are set up. So yeah, I expect to see some 1 or 2 changes, but not too many.
On the tactical side, Michael, let's start looking at this. For Nigeria, what would be the wisest way of navigating this game or approaching this game to get them that bronze medal? We saw what they did against Morocco. Away from the controversy that, all the talk about referees and everything, some people just believe that they were not at their best against Morocco. How should they approach Egypt? How can they go back to their best? How can they walk away after 90 minutes and possibly the shootout with that bronze medal in their hand?
Well, Nigeria's game throughout this competition, per the statistics available, has been about possession. If you are to check various platforms and you assess the teams with the most possession in this tournament, even aside the official CAF data, Nigeria will definitely be either in the top 5 or in the top 10. Again, for passing metrics, for attacking metrics, they'll rank in the top 5. I have some data here. So in terms of possession, on who scored, Senegal lead. Nigeria are just ranked 4th. In terms of aggression, Nigeria are ranked 3rd. Aerial duels won, Nigeria are ranked 2nd. Overall ratings, Nigeria have been rated a third higher than Senegal. Shots per game, Nigeria are ranked 5th. So you look through everything here that I've read, and then you add from the official data as provided by CAF. Clearly, you see that tournament leaders, Nigeria leading goals, Nigeria are 3rd in terms of shot. Average possession, Nigeria are ranked 3rd, which is 60.15 possession per game in terms of percentage. So it tells you that their major strength is in having control of the ball and then determining what happens with it offensively. They are not a team that is cast in the mold of Egypt. Egypt have used a different approach in this tournament and they have achieved their results. So if you check the teams that have made it so far in this competition, of the last 4, Egypt is the one with the fewest goals scored. Of the last 4, Egypt is the one with the fewest shots taken per tournament. And then you will definitely not see them ranked above any of the teams remaining in this competition in terms of any metrics that deals with passes, shots, possession, or anything. So Nigeria's approach should be simple. You met Morocco, who were one of the best teams in terms of pressing, and again, one of the dominant teams in terms of possession. So it meant that Nigeria were not going to exert themselves or boss a game against Morocco playing their style. And that is how come Eric Shell changed. But in this game against Egypt, the natural order must be restored. Egypt will return to the team that they are. They won't change for this match. Nigeria needs to return to what they were and how they have played in this tournament against the Egyptians. And I think Eric Shell must just return to the old template, the old format, how he has played this tournament by the Moroccan game. And I think that is what will bring the best out of them.
Interesting. Gary, on the side of the Egyptians, do you expect them to change a little? Because sitting back against Senegal ultimately cost them that game. By the time they wanted to attack, it was late and they couldn't find anything. Would you expect them to change tack a little just to see if going after Nigeria might give them, the win on the day?
With the context of preparing for the World Cup again in mind,
Sporty FM.
Egypt need a plan B. A plan B that helps them to win games apart from what they have been successful at in the first 5 games of this AFCON. So the plan B, I suppose, will be trying to be a bit more adventurous than they have been at the tournament so far. The problem, Nathan, has been, and this has been widely discussed among Egyptians and Egyptian media, is whether they have the personnel to play the way they want. It's a huge concern because there really is a quality issue. Facing and Nigeria is the Nigeria will be the easiest strong opponent they will face in a while on paper, right? Because we want to assume that after this game, Egypt's next game, remember, will be in March when they play against Saudi Arabia, and then they play against Spain.
Okay.
Right. Yes, as part of the finalissima. It's been announced.
Okay.
Egypt will play 2 games.
In March.
When we are playing
2 games in the March window.
While we are playing Germany, and a yet to be announced opponent, Egypt will be playing Saudi and Spain, or Spain and Saudi. I can't remember what the order is. I think it will be whatever. So they'll be playing these 2 plus a third opponent to be confirmed. So Ghana is yet to be confirming 2 other opponents. We hope so that it will not just be 2 games. But then if you are facing Nigeria, you are facing Saudi Arabia and then Spain. Nigeria then becomes Nigeria in the 3rd place AFCON, and then Spain just before the World Cup, Saudi Arabia just before the World Cup. I think it is fair to say Nigeria in a 3rd place game will be the easiest or the easier of the 3 opponents you are going to face. Because of that, I think they should give this 200% seriousness, because a win against Nigeria will increase confidence for themselves, for their fans, galvanize them for the next 3 months, and help people who feel like they are planning to go and spend so much money under the drastic draconian regime that we are seeing right now, feel about buying tickets, following them to go and qualify for the World Cup. So tomorrow might just be a game to some people, but you see, if the Egyptian national team setup think broadly like this, I think they would open up, play an exciting game, even if they lose. The main reason will be to go out there, let the players express themselves, let them feel good and regain some of their head pride after what Senegal did to them a couple of days ago, so that even if they lose, right, the takeaway will be that, look, guys, we may have lost against Nigeria, but they are very strong opponents. They matched us boots for boots, and we gave it our all. We tried another way of winning, and we are in a good place. We can build on it in the next couple of international friendlies to come. That is just my analytical opinion,
Well, sounds like a very interesting game. When I think about the game, I guess, and Guy, I agree with you on how the 2 teams will view it, especially Egypt, viewing it as part of the long-term prep for the World Cup. And I also think it's a game that kind of determines the next chapter, right? Whether or not maybe Egypt will want to persist with Hussam Hassan. I don't know whether they'll make a change, but maybe from now on they might try to have a different approach, maybe play a bit more adventurous in future games as they get ready for the World Cup. We'll see how it plays out. Let's talk about the final. The biggest game, the most important game of the AFCON. Morocco at home, chasing their first AFCON since 76, playing their first final in 22 years since 2004. Gary, how do you think most Moroccans feel about tomorrow's final? Because as the competition went on, you kept saying that Morocco look at, Walid Regragui and they say, well, this guy, maybe he's at the end of his tenure. They were not sure whether they would make the final. They were not sure whether they would win. But now that they are here, have the opinions changed? Do they now realize that there's an AFCON on the line and they probably should win? Or they still hold the same opinion that we've worked hard to get here? Maybe finishing second is a decent reward for all the work we've put in.
Hey, Mr. Quao, second at this time. see, Mr. Quao, Walid Regragui is in a position that I don't wish on anybody. It's like the sword of Damocles. The more he succeeds, the closer he is to the objective, the closer he is to being sacked. I don't think I've seen something like this in a long time, especially in Africa. That the more you do well, the more you get, or the more you have sleepless nights, the less assured you are. It's a very, very, very strange set of circumstances. Because guess what? Arguably, and this may sound a bit off, as I will do. I mean, you are here with me, so just weigh in on it anytime you feel like.
This is Sporty FM.
In my opinion, if he had lost the semi-final, right, he was further away from being sacked. But if he loses the final, if he lost the semi-final and it would have taken them 5 hours to sack him, if he loses the final, they'll sack him immediately. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah. It's a very odd place because right now, they feel like, dude, we have spent billions to get you here. Because, Nathan, make no mistake, this is the end goal. This is the end goal. To end literally 50 years of hurt. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It is not qualifying for the semi-final of the FIFA World Cup. That has been the end goal of this Moroccan experiment. No.
Okay.
That was a beautifully happy coincidence, right? If they had made only the quarterfinal of the World Cup, it would have still been a massive achievement. I don't want to say overachievement because they have high expectations here based on the amounts they have invested. But winning the AFCON in this sense, particularly after the disaster of the last AFCON, is a completely non-negotiable. They had to win. And that is where it's a problem as well. Because if you don't win, then, for those of us who are neutrals, I'm sorry. When we are going, we need to wear some metal hats before somebody throws something to hit our head. No, it's even a joke. Thankfully, and everybody knows this, thankfully, the final will not be played in Casablanca. Thankfully.
Yeah.
Casablanca is their Kumasi, it's their Lagos, it's their Johannesburg, it's their Rio de Janeiro, it's their, it's their commercial and cultural heartbeat. That is where all the Gangaliers are. That is where all the ultras are. Rabat is their Accra. Accra for there. When they lose the game, we'll shout more and then everybody will sit in their car and go to their house. After 1 hour, after 30 minutes, the whole place will be quiet. So now I can say this on record. Up till yesterday, or up till the final whistle of the semi-final, Nathan, the semi-final, the third place venue was not cast or set in stone.
Oh, really?
Because, right now, we know that the game will be played in, what's it called?
Mohammed V.
No, in Casablanca. Yes, it will be played at Mohammed V in Casablanca.
Okay.
But if Morocco had lost, they would have changed the venue to Agadir or Tangier. You know why?
Why? I'm trying to hazard a guess, but
yes.
Why? Because the game would not be of value.
No. The reprisals if they had taken the game to Casablanca. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Agadir and Tangier is stable and calm. They're, what do you call it? Gentlemen and ladies live there on paper. If they had taken the game to Casablanca after losing against Nigeria, they may not have been allowed to even go onto the pitch before bottles and things will be thrown at them. So that's why, and I had this on authority. from a Moroccan
This
LOC
is Sporty
official.
FM,
Okay.
the voice
That,
of sports.
yes. So that is how seriously they are taking the game. I don't know what Asari has to say.
Michael, do you have any thoughts on this?
The Morocco final.
Yeah, the final. You know, Gary was talking about the dynamics surrounding the final, you know, the venue, the third place, and all these very interesting things, you know, in the equation.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think it just hit the nail right on the head. And you see, the hopes of the people have been heightened after they made the final. So it explains why Gary said, if he had lost the semi-final, maybe the time it would have taken for them to sack him would have been slower than if he loses the final. Because yes, the moment I entered Morocco, a lot of them did not believe they had what it takes to win the competition, because one, they did not believe in the coach first and foremost, and then the other reasons as well. So now that they've made the final, their hopes, their expectations have been doubled. So the disappointment they will face if they fail to win it, you can just imagine. And yesterday, I don't know if I'm permitted to say this, but a high-profile CAF official just said Morocco are hell-bent on winning the AFCON by hook or crook.
That was the expression, by hook or crook.
Exactly. So just imagine, Nathan, they are hell-bent on winning it. So I can't fathom what would happen if the otherwise happens. If they don't win, I can't actually imagine. I think there will be absolute mayhem.
Nathan, let me use 1 minute to explain to listeners the proper reason why.
Okay.
Imagine we are all Ghanaians. We live in Ghana, all right? For the last 15 years, we are led by successive governments who have told us that the monies, the billions of dollars they could use to build schools, hospitals, help small-scale industries, farming, to improve on farming, and other tier one objectives every government must have, the government convinces you and I, and your mother and your father and my mother and my father, right? And all manner of people, all the people in the country for 15 years at least, that people of Ghana, let's use up to billions of dollars of that money. Instead of using that money to build schools in the Upper West region, Upper East region, to build hospitals in the Western region, Western North, to improve on farming implements, give scholarships to the needy in the Volta region, Ashanti region, Eastern region, we are going to use that money. We should use that money to do tourism, because the data suggests to us that tourism, in which football tourism is a key lever, will bring us more recognition internationally, will bring us more money than any of these things, or more than these things. Nathan, that is what we are dealing with here. Last year, about 6 to 8 months ago, there were demonstrations for the first time in this country by the Gen Z of this country, who were feeling impatient that their country, yes, has benefited from tourism, from football and all that, but their leaders are spending too much money and effort on building stadia when they should be building hospitals, on building things related to bringing people in this country to enjoy football and spend, when they should be building more schools, when they should be giving more scholarships. They are spending on attracting the football elites, football countries, whatever, into this country. So, Nathan, I am not exaggerating when I say that the short and medium term legitimacy and goodwill of the government and monarchy of this country relies on them winning in 90 minutes on Sunday. I'm not exaggerating, because you see, the children, the teenagers, the young adults in this country have been sold, it's like a proposal, an informal proposal has been written by the government and monarchy of Morocco. And the future leaders have been told that if you allow us to do this for you, we will give you this in return. That is what we are. And that is why we were told by this official yesterday that, Nathan, they have to win. And this is an expression, by hook or crook.
Wow.
Yes.
So from what you're saying, it's almost like the AFCON must be won to justify all the money that has been spent and to justify why, building stadia and everything had to come before building schools and hospitals and all of those things. So once that is achieved, then the government can say, okay, you see all the things we've done, we've pumped in money, we've won the competition, that's out of the way. Now let's deal with the bread and butter issues that confront Moroccans.
Yes, or let's deal with the bread and butter issues, and can you please allow us to spend some more on doing what we are doing that is working? You see, it's not an either or.
Yeah.
So immediately there were the demonstrations 6 months ago. You might have followed the news and seen.
Yes.
The government sped up projects relating to, let's say in Ghana, and I want to use the Ghanaian analogy. They had a few hospitals like UGMC that were pending. Immediately the demonstrations and the kids hit the streets and shook the government's core. Now these demonstrations happened incidentally the week of when they won the Under-20 World Cup. Because the people said, we know that you are bringing us glory, but we have to eat. We have to go to the hospitals, and we want to go to world-class hospitals when we are sick. You understand? Mm-hmm. The transportation links are good, but we want more. So we get what you are doing, but we want you to pay even more attention to us than you are paying to the foreigners who are coming. Nathan, let me again give you the perspective. And I know we have discerning listeners, so they will get this. For the longest time, it has been almost impossible for any African country to even dare, let alone actually think of planning to pass Egypt as the most visited country and the most touristic country in Africa. It was almost impossible because Egypt had so much cultural equity, so much touristic potential, so much historical goodwill that what were you going to use to beat them? South Africa tried. Okay, the South Africa has natural wonders that will rival Egypt. They did everything, in the 90s especially, they couldn't. Morocco have become the most visited country in Africa. Like, Nathan, for those who understand tourism, this is a huge deal. But the sacrifices it has taken to get there. Yesterday, as Aribodu and I were walking around doing some stuff, and it was like a movie. We had spoken before leaving home about how so far gone Morocco are. Anytime we were walking and met the people we were going to be with, one of them will say by themselves, hey, Charlie, Gary, sorry, Charlie, Morocco, Charlie, they be far gone. It was as if we had told them before meeting them that this is what we're talking about. And these are people who live in countries comparable to Morocco. And they are saying, hey, Charlie, the people, they be far gone. Hey, Charlie, So, how we expected to win CAN 2008, but we didn't feel too badly because in our individual context as Ghana, we had not invested so much that we felt we had a divine right to win. You see, here, yes, their mother or their fathers, if you are using the example of a home, your mother and father has pumped so much money into you that nothing short of 8 A's in the WASI is acceptable. Yeah.
That is what, wow, it provides a brilliant context to the game, and now the game is set up. So for somebody who will be watching tomorrow, they'll watch this knowing what all of this means to Morocco, the king, the state, and all of that. Michael, so with this picture painted, do Senegal stand a chance? Or what can they do to upset the apple cart tomorrow. What can they do to give Moroccans headaches in that final over the weekend? I think the final is on Sunday, rather.
Yeah. Well, I think, yes, they do stand a chance. Whatever thing that we have explained is one side of the whole discussion regarding the final. But the other side also has to do with the football that has been played so far in this competition and how Senegal has played a part in there. If you are looking for the best teams in this competition, no discussion can be had without Senegal featuring in there. I think that would be very unfair and very, very unjust. They have been a team that has played a very typical Senegal brand of football, and they've never shied away from it at any point in time. Theirs has been a consistent repetition of their style, their game plan, and then their trust in the squad they built, not just in some individuals in the team, but the squad that they brought to this competition. They've actually used in entirety almost everyone, bar Antoine Mendy, and some other goalkeepers, the French goalkeepers who've not really had an opportunity to be used in this competition. It should tell you how much Senegal are that good and how deep they are regarding their squad. Again, it looks like history seems to favor them. And there's some storylines around this competition is kind of favoring Senegal. Similarly, yes, they've never met at the AFCON between themselves and Morocco. There has not been a single meeting of the two teams at the Africa Cup of Nations, although Senegal has played 77 matches at the AFCON. They've not played Morocco. Morocco has played over 100 games at the AFCON. They have never played Senegal. So this will be their first ever meeting. And that is a bit symbolic. Again, the last time Senegal won against Egypt was on the 25th of May 2012. And that game happened on Moroccan soil in Marrakesh. That was the last time Senegal beat Egypt. They won a 0-0. The goal was scored by Moussa Konate, and the assist came from a then 20-year-old Sadio Mane, who was making his debut for the Senegalese side. Now, Mane said in the last post-match press conference that the final will be his last game at the AFCON for Senegal. So his debut was against Morocco. It looks like his last AFCON game will be the first ever meeting between these two sides, and it will be against Morocco in Morocco. So I think there are some dynamics around it that points towards perhaps what looked like a graceful beginning for Mane will likely be a graceful ending for him as well at the Africa Cup of Nations. So the script and everything, you can write a very beautiful script for Morocco. You can also write a very beautiful script for Senegal. So on paper, on the evidence of what has been played, and then history-wise, yes, Senegal do stand a chance. They definitely do stand a chance against Morocco.
Well, I like the narrative. I like the interesting subplots, the fine threads in there. Gary, from a Moroccan perspective, away from all the background things, cloak and daggers, conspiracy theories, they have to win. Certainly, Gary, they do have a team that should take Senegal down in 90 or 120 over the shootout, right? We've seen the Moroccans, we've seen the quality they have. So away from all the things that may happen behind the scenes, certainly Morocco should have a good chance of putting Senegal away, right?
Yes. I mean, it goes both ways. There's a reason Senegal versus Morocco was the most predicted lineup before the tournament started. I mean, just to give listeners an idea, even at Sporty, we had 10 predictions. I think I was busy, so I didn't put my prediction out, even though my artwork was there. I also predicted Senegal versus Morocco. Remember, even when I went to Al Jazeera, I said that.
Yes,
right?
yes, you did. You did.
So if you include mine, only 3 people, I believe, in our team or on our team did not predict Senegal versus Morocco. And that says a lot. You know, what it says is that it is a recognition that these are the two, or were the two best teams in our minds, even before the tournament started. Having seen all the kinds of opponents they were going to face, the 22 other teams, we were confident that they could beat any of them and then get to the final, which means that by extension, we saw a Senegal-Morocco matchup as a 50-50 affair. And that is what it is on paper. Because from world-class goalkeeper to world-class striker, they are quite evenly matched in a lot of ways. Yassine Bounou, I don't think there's a better penalty shot stopper in the world. Forget Africa. And he has proven it all the way to the World Cup level, Nathan. So this is not me exaggerating. Right? You understand?
Yeah.
He did it in the Champions League, Europa League, before he left Europe to Saudi, and then done it with the Moroccan national team now at the AFCON, the highest level of African football, and in the World Cup as well. He did it against extremely credible opponents. On the other hand, Edouard Mendy, we do not need to remind people that him going to Saudi has not dulled his sense of being a world-class goalkeeper at all. I saw a tribute, and Mr. French, I have to come to you. You know, I've saved so many things on my phone that I'll send it to you for you to look at again. A very popular Senegalese guy wrote it in French. I translated it.
Okay.
But just to paraphrase, he paid tribute to a couple of the players, including Gana Gueye, Sadio Mane, and Edouard Mendy, as being incredible servants to the national cause, particularly Edouard Mendy. Even after leaving Europe, none of his world-class instincts has dulled at all. If anything at all, he has become a better goalkeeper somehow since leaving Europe. You know, some may say he has had a stellar cast behind him in the Senegalese national team, and on a continent where Senegal are almost guaranteed victory against almost 90% of the opposition they would face. But that's not the point. The point is that when called upon against any kind of world-class opposition, since leaving Europe, Edouard Mendy has been there, and he has again shown it in this competition. So, what's it called? Because of that, and if you match the two teams, I'm just giving you one example in the goalkeepers. You look at the defenders, you look at the midfielders, you look at the strikers. What is there not to compare about? And why would Morocco feel like in their technical meeting today and tomorrow, they don't have what it takes to beat Senegal? Senegal, by their own admission, have weaknesses. It may be very few weaknesses, I must admit. This Senegal team are going to be a pain to analyze. Because Nathan, what are you going to look at as a chink in their armor? They've got it all. You know, if 3 players get injured today in training, and they say, 3 players have gotten injured, unlike the Black Stars, again, as I remember what was said yesterday. Yeah. Unlike the Black Stars right now, Nathan, every single one of us Black Stars fans, we must do fasting and prayer for 72 days, no break, for our Black Stars players, especially the starting 11.
Yeah.
Because if 3 players of our starting 11 get injured before the World Cup again like Kudus, we are in trouble.
True.
Senegal and Morocco, on the other hand, if 4 players get injured and they are defensive midfielders, they are just going to look inside their rich pool and bring another. The only thing that will be affected will be the team chemistry. But quality-wise, they have an embarrassment of riches, both Senegal and Morocco. Remember, Senegal have a CHAN team that have gone all the way, at least to the quarterfinal in the last 2 editions. Yeah. Remember, so this goes for they and Morocco. As for Morocco, they have a CHAN team that is on standby, that are not even getting some to play in the national team. They have a team that have won the Arab Cup, that are praying every day for somebody in the main team to get injured so that they can get some to play. So yeah.
Wow. It sets up to be a very, very good final. Very, very exciting final. So,
in fact,
Michael, yes.
a lot of selling points. The two goalkeepers, like you referenced, Yasin Bono has conceded just one goal in this tournament. He's yet to concede from open play. The goal that was scored against him was a penalty.
Against Mali.
The Lasina Sinayoko. He's not conceded from open play. Edouard Mendy has conceded 2 goals so far in this competition, but in the grand scheme of affairs, he has not lost a game with Senegal. After the 2019 final, he wasn't even in the goalpost then, but Edouard Mendy is yet to lose an AFCON game with Senegal. So the two goalkeepers. Then you come to Sadio Mane factor and then the Brahim Diaz factor, both vying for the overall player of the tournament. I dare say, if Senegal do win and Mane plays a prominent role, straight ahead he walks away with the golden ball. If Morocco wins, I don't think we'll be up for debate that Brahim Diaz will be their player of the tournament. So that aspect also sells it. Then it comes to the two coaches, both with a point to prove. Don't forget, Pape Thiaw won the CHAN with Senegal at the tournament that was hosted by Algeria. And he's bidding to win the AFCON with Senegal, becoming the first coach in their history to do something like that. Walid Regragui is also hoping to win this competition to maybe keep his detractors and then his critics off his back. So the coach's point. So a lot of selling points regarding this game. It makes it a high-stake encounter, trust me. And these are the top 2 teams on the African continent. If you are looking at the African rankings for the FIFA Coca-Cola World Ranking, Senegal, Morocco are definitely in the top 2, and they are facing each other. I don't think we could have had a better AFCON final than this. No.
It's set up to be a very good one. Let me give you guys the most complicated job on earth and a job I don't envy. I want you guys to tell me who you think will win the 2 games this weekend. So the third and fourth.
That's the easiest job, Nathan.
That's the easiest job.
Yes, you know why?
Why?
Because all of us on this call have already made our predictions, and listeners know who we want to win the AFCON. Certainly, those of us who predicted Senegal Morocco final, because we have to state our winners as well.
Yes.
So the information is out there.
No problem. A reminder.
Senegal before the AFCON. I predicted Senegal to win. Yes, to win the AFCON. Sorry, what did you predict before the competition?
Mine was Senegal as well.
Yes. So.
Okay, so
this one, the Coco Cry.
both of you tipped Senegal to win.
It is the score that is complicated.
Okay, the score that's complicated.
Yes, if it's a score prediction, yes.
All right.
I mean, for me, reputation is on the line. You understand? So, if they like, they should cut somebody's head and let them win. They have to win to ensure that our reputation is. But you see, I have to say this before we go. As much as my professional reputation is on the line because I predicted Senegal, as I do, and a large chunk of us as well. You see, a part of me, especially the Ghanaian part of me, wants Morocco to win because, you see, Obiya Dia Osayeyi. It is like we say in life, in our various fields of endeavor, we want to see people who put in the work. Life is not fair, yes, understood. But we want to see people who put in the work so that we can advise children coming that, have you seen Asumesi? Have you seen this person? If you work hard, you can become like him. That is why we always use the Ronaldos of this world and Erling Haalands of this world as examples for the next generation. And Antoine Semenyo, that you see Antoine Semenyo just 4 years ago, this is where he was. You see Jamie Vardy was a bricklayer. We want to be able to tell people so that we build a society where values are inculcated in children and we imbibe in them the spirit of step by step, the spirit of brick by brick, the spirit of patience. And we tell people that if you sit down and you plan as a country and you go through the mill, this is what you can achieve as a nation of, what do you call? You can win the Under-20 World Cup. You can become second in the Under-20 AFCON. You can be the futsal AFCON winner. You can be the CHAN winner multiple times in a few years.
Yeah.
You can win the Arab Cup. You can be the women's AFCON runner-up. You can win all these things and be completely dominant. And in the process, you can use your football to bring so much money into the country that the people of Ghana, of Nigeria, of Somalia, of South Africa, of Zimbabwe, of Zanzibar, of Zambia, right? You can take money, you can use football to develop the country so much so that you can put building schools on hold because you trust that putting money into sports will bring you much more money than investing in direct, in education. That is what we want to be able to tell people. So that's why a part of me wants Morocco to win, to validate their experiment, so that when you and I sit on radio and we are advising President Mahama, nobody will say, and when they did it and what happened. That's my opinion as well.
Okay.
In as much as I want Senegal to win.
I mean, that's a very fair opinion, because the pushback is always that chorus. Okay, so they pumped in money and what happened? So I understand that argument, and I think it's a very fair argument to make. I guess it's something the Moroccans would also trumpet, that winning it will justify all the things they've done. All right, so then predictions for the third and fourth place game, if the final is the easy one. Is that one the more complex one?
So let us take that, I guess.
Michael, who's winning the third and fourth place game?
I think it will be Egypt for very strange reasons. Yeah, it will be Egypt because Nigeria will likely develop that tendency that they want to overdo things. Players, individual players will want to play their own way and maybe deviate from the script, from the coaches. So yes, I think Egypt eventually will nail this. They will find a way to get the better of Nigeria in the end. So I am tipping, yes, Senegal 1, Morocco 2, Egypt 3, Nigeria 4.
Oh, okay. In that order. So Senegal first place, Morocco second, Egypt third, and Nigeria fourth. Okay. We'll see how it plays out. All of it will be revealed by Sunday night, 10 p.m. probably, maybe 11 p.m. at the latest. And we'll see. And we'll be back on Monday to dissect it all. And then we'll talk a lot more about the AFCON side story. So, Gary and Michael, guys, enjoy your day, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the final. Next week, we'll dissect a lot of the side stories, the things people didn't see, how it was for you, media, covering the competition and all of that. But we'll focus on the final this weekend. So, guys, enjoy your day, stay safe, and we'll catch up later.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Wonderful. That was, you heard Gary Al Smith and Michael Asai-Bwedu on the line. This weekend is the third and fourth place playoff of the AFCON. Is Nigeria taking on Egypt? And then Sunday night, it's Morocco taking on Senegal for the right to be called the 2025 AFCON winners. Will Morocco win at home? Will we see another host and win? Cote d'Ivoire did that 2 years ago. Or Senegal will go to Morocco and walk away with the crown, their second AFCON title. All of it will be revealed on Sunday. That's how I wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. Many thanks for listening. My name is Nathan Quao. I did this with Kelvin Owusu-Ansah, who joined me, Ebenezer Sefa, who also joined me to talk about the Ghana Premier League, Michael Asai-Bwedu and Gary Smith joined me to talk AFCON. We are back on Monday, but just before we leave, for those who may be hiding under a rock, the draw for the Women's AFCON was done yesterday. Let me just run the groups by you very quickly, and then we'll call it a morning. Group A, Morocco, who are hosts again, Algeria, Senegal, and Kenya. Very interesting geopolitical war in there, Morocco and Algeria. Group B has South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, and Tanzania. Group C has Nigeria, defending champions, Zambia, Egypt, and Malawi, while Group D has Ghana, Cameroon, Mali, and Cape Verde. You can go to our Sporty FM X page and our other pages to find Abigail Sena Sosu's analysis of the draw. All the info you need about the women's AFCON is in that report. But that's a Sporty breakfast for this morning. Let me thank my production team, Abigail Sena, Susie Mortal, Kwame, Jakwe Champon, Emmanuel Ayamga, Fly, and my DJ Fidelis. And many shouts to you, our listeners. Thank you so much. Monday, we are back. To dissect the AFCON final and the third place game. So we'll congregate here on Monday. It should be a good final. We wish the teams the very best. We'll also talk about the Ghana Premier League. Loaded weekend, and then of course Euro football, the Manchester Derby, the big game in England. All of that and more will be discussed on Monday. Keep your doubts locked on Sporty FM. There's the news at midday, Sporty Plug at 12:30, Sporty Drive at 4. And we have all kinds of other interesting programming content for you on Ghana's first and exclusive all sport radio station. This is Sporty FM. Enjoy your day and stay safe.